Okay. Good morning. Hi, Ten, George Realty. I hope you had a nice weekend and a nice Mother's Day. The weather was very, very nice. I can't have ask a better weather than that. And also we have good news about the market, the real estate market. The 30-year fix has dropped down about 39 percentage point to 6.37.
Oh, right.
And the pending sales are up by 7.7%. And also the home price is the lowest since 2021. So that's very, very good news.
Yeah.
And also the inventory rising too. That means the buyers has a better chance of getting their choice properties. So this is time to wrap up your engines and do the marketing, do the um, the door knocking and hopefully you will have a very productive summer. Okay. Today we have the honor to have Rick Corbera from First American Title to talk about the 1031 exchange. This is a very popular topic, and he's the expert, really expert in this area. So we are looking forward to that. But before then, let me introduce the other affiliates. Let's begin with Nicole Manat from Fidelity National. Nicole, good morning.
Morning, Peter. Good morning, High 10. And thank you, Peter and Michelle, for allowing the affiliates to join you each week. It's a pleasure. Hope all of the mothers that are here had a wonderful Mother's Day. And for those that are not here with us, that you cherish the memories of those individuals. I just wanted to share, I had a call over the weekend, and I know a lot of the reps here from the title companies have been talking about fraud. So if you're going to be listing a vacant lot, items that we would require as a title company, first of all, make sure you're doing your due diligence, verify the ownership, see if you can meet with them in person. But as a title company, what we will require is a copy of their driver's license or passport. That way we can try and verify signatures, hopefully, especially with the free and clear. Sometimes that's a little more difficult, but if you can obtain that information, and then obviously we'll request the statement of information so that we can do additional, background check on the individuals. And if it's free and clear, prior to closing, we will ask for forwarding address for the seller as well as where the proceeds will be deposited to. So I just wanted to let you know, make sure that you are definitely vetting these individuals, protecting yourself and your clients. And we also do have a new system that we've put in place as well. And this is for all purchase transactions. We are now collecting the buyer's email at closing and automatically enrolling them in a fraud alert system as well that will notify them if anything's recorded on the property. This is for the new buyer, and if their property becomes listed in the MLS. So just want to let you know this is complimentary, and so it's a new property alert system. I know you've probably seen the emails that we've been sending out, and I just wanted to let you know that's another way to help protect the new buyers. Thank you so much, Nicole Menard, Fidelity National Title. Have a fantastic and blessed week.
Oh, very good. So your company is also giving the complimentary service for the fraud prevention program for
Yes,
the clients that you write the policy on. That's very
correct, for the
good.
new
That's
buyers.
very good, very good service. Yeah,
Yes.
because nowadays fraud are getting more and more prevalent, so.
More sophisticated. I know I had somebody call me on Friday trying to obtain property information, and I started asking more questions, and I thought this doesn't seem right. So I said, I'm sorry, I can only provide this data to realtors, lenders, or escrows.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's getting harder with the AI too. The AI can do a
Yeah.
lot of things that will escape the
Yes.
detection.
And it's scary for the elderly. My mother-in-law was so upset yesterday, you know, how
Yeah,
do I protect myself? I don't want somebody to
yeah,
steal my property and my money, you know, so
right,
we can help educate our clients.
right. Okay, thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Nicole.
Thank you.
All right, next we have John Wax from Snap NHD. John, good morning.
Good morning, Peter and Michelle. Again, thank you for allowing me to be here. I'm glad to be back. I am back. I'm still working. Like I said, the weather is hot. The market is hot, like Peter was saying, you know. Do want to let you know regarding the fraud and all that kind of stuff. We're 5 stars, which is the highest you can get on Trustpilot. So any information that we take in, it's confidential. No one can get to it, and you're protected. Also, you have the most E&O insurance in the business. We have $100 million of E&O insurance. We step in the shoes to protect you if there's ever a claim. Knock on wood, never had one. Okay. The one thing a couple things that I want to go over, and I'll go over when I do a class for you guys, are the fact that your clients want to know stuff now, right away. They don't want to trust anyone else except you and the knowledge you have and the team you have that can help them get the information so they can make informed decisions. So, as I always say, if you're working buyers, always use the hazard preview. It is free. It's on our website. All you have to go to snapnhd.com, put the information, just the street address and zip code, and push start. In seconds, done by us. Fire, flood, earthquake call, seismic hazard, all done by us. You can trust the information. It's the same information that we would put in a report if we generate the report, but you know that ahead of time so you can line up your insurance brokers or any other professional that you need to speak with in order to service your clients. The other thing is, what do they want to know? Okay, if I buy this property for X amount of dollars, how much are my supplemental taxes going to look like? We have a free supplemental tax right on the website at the very top. You just click on estimator and you put in the address, of the property, just the street address and zip code, push start search, and then put in the price, because we don't know what the price is going to be, and the month estimated close in seconds. Now, from January to May, you'll get 2 supplemental taxes. You'll be able to see 2 supplemental taxes. After that, it's 1, plus the full tax for next year based on that sales price. So it's a lot of information, and it meets their standards and answers a lot of questions and shows that you're proficient in helping them understand what it means to get into the properties they're interested in. And don't forget, they are required on leases as well, and we're the only one with the free lease report. I'll put my website in the chat. I know we have a great presentation from Rick. So that's it for me, guys. And thank you, John Max, Snap NHD.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Always good information from you. Thank you. Then next we have Unita Wu from HWA, the home warranty. Unita, good morning.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Michelle, and all Coldwell Bank, High 10. I don't know, I'll get used to it. High 10 Realty. It's still that in the mind, right?
That's okay.
It's a habit. It is a habit. We just all need to break that habit. Always good to break that habit. But you need a Woo Home Warranty for America, the 13-month home warranty. First, I want to wish all the mothers out there, hope you guys had a nice weekend, have a fabulous day. We're here to help you anytime. It's still 13 months home warranty, so we give additional 1 month free. And also, I want to keep everybody know, so if you guys do have any home warranty, please, when you open escrow with your escrow company, try to CC us a copy so we have an idea that there's orders coming in. The reason why we want to make sure the order is placed accordingly, correctly, because sometimes there is a pool, or maybe there's an ADU, or there's a guest house, they're in the home that we don't know, right? Or the escrow company or the TC order it, they don't know what's in the house either. So we could be able to send send that invoice to all parties and be able to get making sure everybody approved that invoice as well. So there's no confusion on it, right? Also that I just want to let everybody know too, we do cover rekey because this is all the question that we've been asked. Like when we close escrow, you could call for the rekey right away. You don't have to wait for the payment to come in. So if you don't know what is rekey, it's basically changing your lock up to 6 lock and 4 new key. And we also talk about we have that homeowner insurance deductible comes up to additional $1,000 too. But we're here to help you, right? Summer is coming. If you do need marketing material, flyers, holder, little like marketing stuff, let me know. We're here to help you guys so we could have a win-win back together with getting the orders and be able to provide you some of the value as well. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Unita. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Nancy Chen from Lawyers Title. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Well, I think I'm all set up in my little corner in the house. Thank you very much, everybody. And going back to what Yvonne said about fraud, we catch them almost every week. Number one, although the realtors are getting the information from Realist or Title 24/7, if you don't get the deed, you don't know who are all the sellers. There's only 1 or 2 names on the MRMLS on a title profile. There might be 3 or 4 or 5 different people on there. And if you don't order a property profile, that's a normal thing to do in the old days. You order a property profile with all the deeds from the title company. Now you don't. But on Title Pro, you can still download the deeds. At least you can verify certain things. So if you do have any questions, you feel like this uneasy, please call us. Because it's a realtor that's listed a property and the seller was a phony guy. And even changed the LLC corporation from LA to San Diego. We got everything. But luckily, I knew the seller. They live in Arcadia. So the investor that was buying was really pissed. They were supposed to close last Thursday. I stopped the sale on Monday.
Wow.
So, and the guy was going to come into our office in Orange County and said, I'm going to go to the title company to prove that I'm the real owner. Escrow told us, never showed up. I was ready to call the cops. But these are happening. So verify signature, verify people. If you talk to them on the phone, they don't want to meet you, something is wrong. He says to live in San Diego. I asked the realtor, I said, you can drive 2 hours to San Diego. Why didn't you do that? Well, he said he was busy. I'm like, please don't be lazy. Verify everything because if there's a lawsuit, everybody's involved. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Peter, for all your support. I really appreciate you, but ask the questions. We're all here to help you. We don't want you to get in trouble. I want you to make money and be happy.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. Okay, now, Michelle, do we have anybody in the training room or for the affiliates?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, at this time, the moment that we are looking forward to is we have Rick Corbera from First American Title to talk about 1031 exchange, and it's a very hot topic, and I'm sure that everybody has questions for him later on. So let's begin with Rick. Rick, come on.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Michelle, Peter, again for having me. So I'll just kind of do an overhead view of 1031. And if you guys have questions, feel free. And what I can do is I can email Peter afterwards, kind of a slide, so that way you guys have an overview, kind of a blueprint, kind of what it went through. So, all right. So what's a 1031? So a 1031 is pretty much you're just deferring your gains on your capital investment. So it has to be held for investment or business use of real estate. So there's a few rules to acquire in doing a 1031 exchange. So the reason I kind of tell them why it's important to know what a 1031 is because if your client does not do an exchange, they are looking to pay about 37.1% in taxes. So just kind of giving an idea. So if they sell for $1 million, they probably have to pay about $370,000 in taxes. So 20% for federal, 13.3% for California, and 3.5% for Obama tax. So that's why it's important to do a deferment. And what's the good thing with you guys, I always tell the realtors is that it yields two transactions for you guys. It yields the sale of the relinquished property and the purchase of the replacement property. So it's a really good way to have two commissions for you guys. So let's kind of just go over the requirements of to do the 1031 exchange. So there's a few rules that the IRS you have to go by, and they're pretty strict. So the hardest part is kind of what I'm about to go over in the exchange. So once you close escrow on your relinquished property, you have 45 days to identify your replacement property. And then the IRS gives you 180 days to close on it. So if they give you the 45 days is by far the hardest part of doing the exchange. So you have to identify up to 3 properties up to the 45th day. So you can change as many properties as you can. But right when the 45th day locks or passes, those 3 properties you identify are locked. Okay. So that's why it's a lot of work doing that 45 days. And also, let's say if after your 45 days something goes wrong, you're 4 months in and something goes wrong on that property. So you better hope that those other 2 properties are still available. So we can talk about strategies of how to avoid taxes if we go that route. So we can talk about DSTs, but just kind of give you an overview. Also, in order to do the tax deferment, you have to do what's called or sell equal or greater in value, or buy equal or greater in value. What does that mean? So if you sell for $1 million, that means your replacement property has to be $1 million or greater. Okay. So that's the caveat, as well as doing the 1031 exchange. The other important rule to do the 1031 exchange is the same taxpayer has to do the exchange. Okay. So depends on the trust, however it's set up, it has to be the same taxpayer has to do the exchange. Okay. So that's also, we run into a lot of stuff. So as far as the taxpayer ID, but the simplest way, just always remember, taxpayer has to do the same exchange. So in order also to do the exchange, we have to set up the exchange prior to the close of escrow. All right. And also, what can you exchange in? So back in the day, you would hear like, oh, I have to exchange. If I have an apartment building, I have to exchange for another apartment building. That's not the case anymore. It hasn't been the case for about 40 years now. So what you can do is you can exchange from apartment building to residential, from residential to land. You can mix and match as long as you exchange an equal or greater in value. Okay. And it has to be real estate. You cannot exchange it to stocks, bonds, personal property. Okay. So we went over the time frame. So let's kind of go over that 45-day rule a little bit. So within that 45-day rule, there are 2 rules. You can either choose rule number 1, which allows you to identify 3 properties regardless of their fair market value. What does that mean? So if we sell for $1 million, you can identify one property for $1 million, another property for $5 million, and the other property for $100 million. So you're not capped at the value. Rule number 2 states you can buy as many properties, but you're capped at a 200% rule. So again, let's use $1 million. I can buy as many properties as I can, up to 2 million. 90% of the time we'll always go to rule number 1. Okay. So that's pretty much the most popular one is identifying the rule number 1. So, and also it is calendar days. It's not business days. So if your exchange falls on a Saturday or Sunday, it would actually be closed prior to that. Okay. And there's no extensions whatsoever. Okay. The IRS is very strict on that. Everything's time stamped by escrow, so we cannot exchange that. So, like I said, just a big overview. Again, so we have the rules. We got to identify properties within 45 days, and we got to close on the property within 180 days. Okay. The benefit of you guys actually doing the exchange. So, Rick, what's the benefit? I get we're just deferring, we're kicking the can, but what's the actual long-term benefit? The benefit of the exchange is for your heirs or your trustees. Okay. So let's say, again, let's use that $1 million property. You guys started your property real estate portfolio at $1 million, and then you grew it, let's say, to $10 million over 20 years. And then unfortunately, you guys pass. Your heirs gets what's called a step up in basis. So they have a path they can choose. They can either choose to keep the portfolio or sell. If they decide to sell, they can sell the 10 million and not pay a single dime in taxes. That's the benefit of the step up in basis. So that's how you have old money, inheritance. So that's how it keeps getting passed down, passed down, passed down. So that's how you get the benefits of the step up in basis. Now, let's say if the heirs say, do you know what? I want to keep the property. I want to continue. Now, let's say they grew up to 18 million and they decide to sell at that point. Now, their basis started at 10 million, so they only have to pay taxes on 8 million. Okay, unless if they keep doing exchange. So that's why the good benefit of the exchange is of pretty much doing a 1031. So A, you're not paying taxes, you are kicking the can down the road. But two, the benefits of your heirs, your trustees get that step up in basis. So all that hard work, everything, it gets passed down to them and they can sell and not pay anything on taxes on that. So that's one of the big benefits of doing the exchange. Okay. And that's, let me see what else we can kind of go over real quick. So also talk about just really quick, we also do what's called reverse exchanges. Reverse exchanges is the other way around. So reverse exchanges is when you find a replacement property, you purchase it, and then you relinquish your investment property. So we're actually starting to see that very popular, just because it takes away the 45 days of the stress of you trying to find a replacement property. So the benefits are there. The only caveat to doing the reverse is it's a little bit more expensive. To give you guys an idea as far as fees, so a normal fee for us, if you're exchanging $1 million or less, it's $1,000 flat. From $1 million to $5 million, it's $1,500. Now an exchange, a reverse exchange, it starts at $10,000. $9,000 for the reverse and $1,000 for the forward exchange. You say, Rick, why is it so much? The reason is because we have to set up what's called an EAT, an exchange accommodator title. So what we actually do is we actually hold the property for you while you try to sell your relinquished property, because you cannot exchange into something that you currently own. So that's another tool or investment strategy. So if you guys are sitting with your client and you hear, yeah, I have an investment property, or this property is an investment or rental that I want to sell, 99.9% of the times they will need to do an exchange. Okay. So now let's say if they do an exchange that $1 million, but they buy something at 800,000. That's okay. That happens all the time. It does not destroy the exchange. They will just have to pay what's called boot. They will just have to pay taxes on the 200,000 on that delta. So there's several ways. So if you guys have questions on it, like I said, you guys don't need to be the experts. Just kind of know the overhead view and get me involved, and we can go a lot more detail and dive. But that's the benefits of doing an exchange. And the good thing is, as you guys are talking to your clients, it makes you guys look like a hero, because not only you're saving them money, you're deferring, you're providing so much more service and benefits to them that they didn't know. And I can't tell you, I get calls almost every day that almost every exchange I set up is within 10 days or less. It's always at the last minute. And the always ones at the last minute always have issues finding the replacement properties. So that's where you guys have to come in and be the heroes. Right when you hear that, we got to look at the 45 days. We got to start looking for properties now and not wait till the 45th day. So that's where you guys come in. And if you guys have questions or whatnot, that's what I'm here for. I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you guys to kind of go more in deep and dive. But this is kind of like an overhead view of you guys just to have another tool in your tool belt. So, and you guys I'm actually seeing a lot of properties that owners bought for their kids, let's say out of state 10, 15, 20 years ago, that they're selling now, that they're actually buying here, or vice versa. A lot of people are actually leaving or selling properties like beach houses or rentals that they don't want to take care of anymore. They're moving into DSTs. So there's a lot of movement as far as in the investment aspect, as far as residential that I'm seeing. So, But yeah, that's pretty much kind of like an overhead view. Do you guys have any questions or any scenarios or anything? One thing also I wanted to say, I forgot to mention, this is very important. With the IRS, it's always about intent. Okay. We always hear, oh, we have to hold it for 2 years or this. There's nothing in the tax code that states it has to be held for a period of time. It's all about intent. So the example I give is I had a girl from Google. She sold a place in Sacramento, moved down, and then I think 4 months later she got a promotion. She had to go back up. So when she decided to, instead of selling her place, she wanted to rent out her place here in Northridge. She had it listed on Zillow, I think, for about a month, not even 2 months, and then she realized, you know what? This, I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to deal with this. I want to buy something else. She was eligible to do an exchange because her intent showed that she was willing to rent it out. So that time frame, it's all about intent. So that time frame doesn't say anything about with the code with the IRS. So that's what I say. It's all about intent with the IRS and what you're trying to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Peter, Michelle, do you guys have any questions or anything for me? Or I know I gave you
great.
guys a lot.
I do.
Great. So for the 1031 exchange, you cannot do it for your residential property, so you have to do it for your investment property, right?
Correct. Only investment property or has to be held as an investment purpose.
Right.
Now, there's section 121 that's for the primary that allows that if you have $500,000 to gain and you're
Right.
married, you're excluded with that. Single,
Yeah.
it's 250, sorry.
And also, if you buy the single family residence for the purpose of renting it out, you can also exchange that because of
Exactly. Exactly.
the investment property intent, right?
Exactly. So exactly. You just gotta live in the property. Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And also, you mentioned two important days. One is the 45 days to identify, and the other is 180 days to close escrow. Now, for the 45 days, a lot of accommodator can fetch it for you, right? Kind of.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where we follow the rule by law. And the thing is, because we're a big company, we're a Fortune 500 company. We have investors. We don't do that. So we're very strict, and that's why we have a really good record. We don't good record with the IRS and everything. So yeah,
So
a
how
lot
would
of
they
them are
find
very creative.
how would they find out though? If they said, well, I have the 45 days to identify, but but they can backdate a little bit.
Yeah, the classic one is they mailed it.
They mail it?
They mailed it. Yeah, they put it in the mail and we mailed it. So we mailed it on the 45th day. So I don't know why, but that's even timestamped sometimes too, so I don't know. Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah.
I see.
Rick, I have a question.
Yes.
Could you let the agents know, like when they get into escrow with the 1031 exchange, what they can expect you to be doing during escrow, and that it's really not, I don't believe, adding any work on them? Can you explain a little bit?
Of course. Yeah. Really good question, Michelle. So we set up with escrow. So we actually work concurrent with escrow in the back end. So all we need in the front end is just let us know which escrow company you're working with, and if you have the replacement property address. But literally, we get in contact with escrow in the back end. It's seamless, and yeah, it's very, very seamless. It's all DocSign, and it's all taken care of in the back end. Yeah.
And you're not going to give your documents to the agents that they need to get it signed. You handle the signing on your paperwork.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
it doesn't add to the agents.
Oh no, nothing at all.
Yes.
It's all
Okay.
seamless. Yeah, and it's
Just wanted to make sure they know that. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
And can you give your title of your company again?
Yeah, First American Exchange. So First American Title is our parent company, and just kind of the way I sell First American Exchange is we guarantee your funds 100%. And believe it or not, our industry is not regulated. As crazy as that sounds, it's not regulated. So
Wow.
a mom and pop shop can open up and you can put their exchange in there if you wanted to. So we guarantee the funds 100%. We don't commingle the funds. We put the funds in its own individual account. We pay interest on the funds as well. So that's also very important. So just kind of know who your QI is, your qualified intermediary, which is us. So, and how it'll work is, so once you close escrow, the money gets sent to us. We hold the funds until you find the replacement, and then we send the funds to the escrow. So,
I think Camilla, do you have a question?
I do. I have a
Yeah.
question. This is Camellia.
Hello.
Hi. So I'm not sure if you know this question, this answer, but as in the past, I remember we had to write something in the CRMLS that we were going to do a 1031 exchange. We had to put like some wording, but I've noticed that sometimes people aren't doing that. So is that actually a rule, or is that just to let people know?
It's just to let people know that you're doing that the file is going to be an exchange.
Okay, so it's not mandatory.
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Rick,
Yes.
do you do DST?
No, but I can recommend a DST. So do you want me to kind of talk about the DST real quick?
Yeah, please.
So DST is a Delaware Delaware State Treasury. Yeah, it sounds like dyslexic sometimes.
Delaware Statutory Trust.
There it is. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. What that is so you're buying into, instead of, let's say you can't find a replacement property, I usually always recommend this on number 3. So what it is, you're buying into a big pool of real estate. So like a big apartment complex or a big shopping center. So you get your check every month. It's maintenance free, but the only caveat, it could be locked up for 3, 5, or 7 years. So the good benefit or the good transition on that is if you have a seller that's older that doesn't want to deal with tenants anymore, a lot of them are going to this DSTs because they're giving them good returns and it's secure and it's funded. So that's an option as well to do an exchange into.
Yeah, so if you're running out of time to get a property and close in 180 days, that's the option to go into DST. How soon can you arrange DST to get exchange?
A day.
A day, really?
Yeah.
So you have all the resources to do that very quickly.
Yep, very quickly. Yeah, I work with a few DSTs. So yeah, and the good thing with the DST, like I was saying, let's say you're 3 months into the exchange, if something happens, well, that DST, since it's on the list, it will always be available. So that way you won't have a failed exchange.
Right.
So
Rick, can you say your phone number and put it in chat? There's people that would like you to say your phone number.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat right now. And I'll send out my email and I'll give you guys so I forgot my emails. There.
Okay, very good.
310-579-7645, 310-579-7645. You got it? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. And lastly, you mentioned that the step up is very good mechanism to avoid the capital gains. But the thing is, if you have a wealthy person, you already have the exemption to up to that $30 million. Then anything that's after that, there will be 50%.
Exactly.
40%. I'm sorry, it's 40% estate tax, which is more than the 37.1 capital gain tax, right?
Yep.
So that is the some things that you have to be aware of. If you are a wealthy individual, that can be a disadvantage for you to
exactly. And the thing is,
know?
if you decide to sell, they'll backdate the taxes. So let's say you start at $1 million and you grew it to 15 million, they're going to tax you all the way back to the 1 million.
All the way back to 1 million?
Yeah, so when you started, so they tax you on your base.
Oh.
So that's why it's important. But yeah, I guess Buddy had a question. Is there a capital gains calculator? So just multiplying. So the way you calculate it, just figure out what their base is. So what they bought it for and what they're going to sell it. And then just multiply that by 37.1%. That's the tax here in California.
Okay.
So like I said, if the gain's $1 million, just times it by 37.1.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But the 1031 exchange doesn't apply for the foreigners, right?
It does if they have it depends how we structure it. So if they bought the property, let's say under an an LLC
Mm.
or some type of different entity, it can.
And
I did one, I think, a few months ago. It was a little tricky though.
yeah.
It was a little tricky, yeah, and because they wanted to convert to the Virgin, it was a weird exchange. It was a super weird exchange.
So do you charge extra for that? If you know,
No,
a Chinese national come to you and say, I want to do this 1031 exchange.
no, we charge the same flat fee.
Okay, that's good. Good. That's very good. That's good.
Yeah, we have another question, I guess.
Hi, it's Camelia again. Sorry.
Yeah, no, of course. What's going on?
So if a person had, say, an investment property, let's say it's a residential property, and they rented it out, and then they died, and the children now inherited it, but they waited 1 year. So, do they have to pay taxes on that, or for just the 1 year, or are they now having to do the 1031 exchange because of
Good question. Really good question. So what's going to happen is if once they took over ownership, they're going to have to figure out what the fair market value is at that time.
Mhm.
And so if the property appreciated, let's say if they got it for $1 million, now it's worth $1,000,001, so there's 100,000.
Mhm.
If they sold, they would only have to pay capital gains on the 100,000.
Okay, got it.
Unless if they sell, then they can exchange everything else, but their new base now starts at $1 million.
Okay, so if they do a 1031 exchange, it's basically to cover them for the 100K.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they just got to figure out what their base was or what the market value was when they took over the property.
Okay.
And usually if you know that's going to happen, I just say just get an appraisal done. That's the easiest and the cleanest way. So that way, I've seen it many times. Brothers and sisters, unfortunately, fight all the time on the value. So the cleanest way is just to get an appraisal done.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Another scenario, Rick, is that you have 10 condos, and then you bought the condos at one time, and now you want to exchange different condos at different times. You are allowed to do that, right?
Yes, you are. But that could be tricky because if all those condos are under the same taxpayer,
Yeah.
you have to sell all those exchanges. All those exchanges have to close. Depends how you structure it within the 180 days.
But for example, you have 10 condos, and then you sold 2 condos. You want to.
Oh, you're only selling 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, you wanted to sell 2 of them, and you want to exchange the 2 of them first,
Mm-hmm.
and get a replacement property.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And there's no problem with that. We have no problem with
IRS, yeah, no
IRS.
problem at all.
And then how do you keep track of the value of those 2 condos?
The value is when you sell it, so that's the value.
Right, I know, but see, when you bought the 10 condos, it's a lump sum, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, but so they break it down. So you would have to figure out how the CPA broke it down.
Yeah.
If they broke it down as a portfolio or each individual.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. If it's a portfolio, the whole portfolio has to exchange.
Right. But then now I'm talking about this just exchange part of it.
Yeah,
so
just the
how
exchange
do you
part.
keep track of which condo? Because different condo have different prices, right?
Exactly.
And so how does IRS look at those different prices for the different 1031 exchange?
Really good question. So when we close, we send you all the paperwork, and it's up to you how to file. So when you file with your CPA, you're gonna put what you sold it for right there, and that's gonna create the value and the base. So then that records it.
Okay, the accommodator will know how to do it, right?
Yes, when we close, we send you all the paperwork, and we don't send anything to the IRS. We only send it to you, and it's up to you to do the filing and everything. So.
Oh, okay. So it's up to the CPA how she structure it. Or how
Exactly. And usually they kind of have a good idea already. So, and I always tell them, check with your CPA account just to make sure that the structure is okay if they're doing the transfers. So
yeah, that's good. All right, great, wonderful. That's a very, very good information, Rick.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'll leave some brochures, I guess. Yeah, so next time in the office, I'll leave some brochures and flyers And if you go to like my website, it just kind of gives you like a little overview. And I'll leave some cards. And the cool thing on the back of my cards has a QR code. So you can always just take a picture and it kind of just gives you an example, like an overview of the simple rules and stuff like that for you guys.
Okay.
So
So
Thank
you're gonna
you.
send us the PowerPoints or
yeah, I'll email you guys. Yeah, I'll
and
email you the
I'll
PowerPoint.
email it to all the agents. Those are very good information.
Of course, my pleasure. Well, thank you guys again. Thank you guys so much for having me for your time.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank
you.
you, Rick.
Very good.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so
guys.
much. Appreciate it very much.
Pleasure.
Okay, now back to the company business. There's two announcements. Where we have this Wednesday we have the CLE win. That's the 7th session already. So have this week and then 3 more sessions that will be done. And then remember that you have to attend 80% of all the session in order to get a certificate. So be sure that you log on to the seminar, and they keep track of your attendance. Okay, it will be this Wednesday at 10 o'clock as usual, and the topic will be in financial analysis, which is a very, very valuable information for you as an investor, as a developer, as a real estate, commercial real estate agent. Very, very good tools that you can use from the class. So be sure to attend. And also 1 o'clock is lunch and land with Hemi Bank by the Ethan Park. It will be a good session to attend also. They will have a different type of loans, including the SBA loans. And hope you can attend as well. There will be no Friday training, right, Michelle? We're taking a week off from the training
Yes.
this week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So any questions so far? Okay, if not, I would like Michelle to tell us what's going on with the listing and escrows for this week.
Okay, so the new escrows of Tennessee Street, number E in Redlands. That was leased by Lucy Clark. The lease value was 160,000. 533 Pennsylvania, number 119 in Irvine, sold by Christopher Sue. That was a condo. It's 3.521 is the selling price. 1855 South Fern Avenue in Ontario. The selling agent is Yolanda Orez. It's a residential, and it was sold at 1.079. 13133 Lee, I think that's Park, number 1009 in Chino Hills. Helen Lee had a lease that she double-ended. The value was 33,000. 168 South Monterey Street, number 512 in Alhambra. Nina and Tatiana were the listing agents. It's a condo which sold for 1.160. 1521 Delmar Avenue, number K in San Gabriel. Sharon Chow double-ended a lease for the value is 36,000. The new listings are 17575 Kalima Road, number A, City of Industry. That's a commercial lease by Shumei Cam, 5,160 per month. And Lucy had also listed Tennessee, and she put it into the closed position, and that was 300 a month, 3,000 a month. 816 North Depot Street, Los Angeles, 2250 a month. That is Christine Finn as the listing agent. It is a residential lease. 1855 South Fern, Oscar, residential. And he had just listed it, and it's went into escrow, and it's 1,079,000. Closed escrows this past week. Vacant land in North Palm Springs, 750,000. The selling agent, Michael Radlovich. 13133 Lee Park, Chino Hills. That was closed by Helen Lee. That was a lease at 33,000. And 415 Tennessee, we've addressed that. That was closed by Lucy Clark. 3311 Villa Mesa in Pasadena. Kathy Wang was the listing agent. It's a residential property and it was sold at 2.430. 23703 Silver Springs in Diamond Bar. The selling agent for this residential property is Lily Yuen. Sold at $1,075,000. 448 West Central Avenue in Brea, $980,000, and it was Sophia Chow as the selling agent on the residential side. 415 North Chandler, number 618 Monterey Park, $725 was the sell amount, and the listing agents were Nina and Tatiana. 1521 South Del Mar, Unit K, San Gabriel, $36,000. That was Sharon Chow. She did close that lease. Has a fully executed lease agreement. So thank you all very much. And it was a good last week, and I know the momentum's building, and it's really good to see that.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, good for the company and good for the agents, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, John. All right, then do we have any listing that any agent want to pitch their listings or reduction in prices or open houses that you want to highlight? Let's take this time to for the agents to speak up.
I have a
Hi,
price
Lucy.
reduction. Yes, Peter, it's
Okay.
Lucy. Yeah, I'm talking about the commercial condominium for a sale. The address is 401 South Garfield Avenue, the Unit D, the city of Monterey Park. It is a very high traffic location, and the price only $328,000 in city of Monterey Park.
Is it an office condo? The
Yeah, office condo.
what is it
And
good for?
yeah, very good price. And then it's only year 2007 build and has a 730 square footage. Current tenants pay very low rent because he's was original tenants, only 1,300 per month. It's below the market. So the price is very reasonable for that great location. It's
what is the location good for? Do you?
Yeah, you can. It's you can do any office you want to do. Currently, it's a legal practice. Like immigration, he do the immigration. That the current tenants do immigration. You can do anything else you do.
So
you can
actually
do doctor office, CPA office, any office. The mostly for the office use. But small retail may be okay, but it's very small. It's only 730 for office. It's very good. Inside, really renovated, very pretty.
Is it upstairs or downstairs?
It's upstairs, two floors, but you have a mountain view. Enjoying the office, you can see the view.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's you have elevator.
I see.
You have an elevator. You have a commercial parking. It's really big parking for you guys, and the next to church, all the parking's there. Planning. If you look from Google Map, you can see the very prime location.
And
the price
it's a reduction in price, right? How
yeah,
much?
this original owner. That's why the price can reduce. If it's a second owner, you cannot buy this price.
How much a reduction you are talking about?
Is from used to be the 400 something, now reduced to 328. It's nothing now. 328,000 is very low price.
Very low price. Yeah, you're right. Right. Okay.
Yeah, hope one of my associates can help me get paid same time. Get sold. Okay, the next one I will repeat again. That's used to be a Bank of America. It's 910 North Mountain, and the price even is down to less than rebuild cost, only 189 per square footage. You was solid build Bank of American building. That's 14,530 square footage. Also, you have land belong to you, over 20,000 square footage is land, including 66 parking, designated parking, just for you. And if you have a big party, you can go through, use the shopping center. That's whole shopping center's parking can go. The price is only 2,750,000. It's really, really low. You
Very good
cannot
price.
build a building.
Yeah, very good price.
Yeah, please help me get a sale. Everybody get paid. Please help.
Okay.
All
Yes.
right. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. And for those two properties, if you can give us a brochure or not brochure, but the information, I will pass it to all the agents for you.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. I will do
Okay.
right away.
All right. Thank you very much. Any more pitching from the agent about the open houses, the reduction in prices, anything? Okay. Now, originally I was thinking of having my presentation on guidelines on referral fees, but I can see the time is 10:57, so we are really running out time. So I will defer that to next meeting, okay, if you don't mind. And if there's no questions, I would like to adjourn the meeting, and I will see you next week. So everybody will have a nice week this week.
Sounds
Bye-bye,
good. I'm here.
everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Great week.
Peter.
Thank you
Thank you,
very much.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.